This is CBS Atlanta News at 5.
And the judge in the Zimmerman murder trial turns down a crucial request by the prosecution. We sit down with a legal expert to find out why and what effect that decision may have on the final verdict.
A developing story out of Florida today. The prosecution presented its closing argument in the George Zimmerman murder trial, saying Zimmerman profiled 17-year-old Trayvon Martin the night he shot him. The prosecutor told jurors a teenager is dead through no fault of his own and that he was killed because George Zimmerman made assumptions that night that were wrong. He also questioned why Zimmerman decided to get out of his car and follow Trayvon.
Why? Because he's got a gun. He's got the equalizer. He's going to take care of it. He's a wannabe cop.
Zimmerman has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. Today, the judge ruled the jury can also consider a lesser charge of manslaughter, but she turned down the prosecution's request to add a third charge of third-degree murder. The defense should present its closing argument tomorrow. We are joined by our legal expert, attorney Giudice, to break down the closing arguments and the introduction of those new third-degree murder charges today. What's your take first on the closing argument?
Well, I think that the prosecutor did a very good job. He's clearly very knowledgeable with the facts. He did a very good job segueing with the audio tape of Zimmerman's prior statements, the use of the friend who wrote the book about Zimmerman. He was very good with that. However, most of the time prosecutors in their closing are pounding on the facts that make up the indictment, the charges that they must prove beyond a reasonable doubt to get a conviction, here for murder, second degree. I thought he wandered from that quite a bit, and I really do think he's very happy, as he asked, that the judge is giving that manslaughter lesser included jury charge.
So what's the difference between second-degree murder and manslaughter, and what kind of penalties do each of these carry?
Right. Second-degree murder under Florida law is at minimum 25 years with an extra 10 years for the weapons enhancement. So essentially it's almost a life sentence. The manslaughter is a Class 2 felony, maximum 15 years, again, plus the 10-year weapons enhancement. So life versus a max of 25. And he would be eligible for parole on the manslaughter in about 8.5 to 10 years.
Why throw out the third-degree murder charge?
Well, the case was not tried that way by the prosecution. That third-degree homicide charge was based on child abuse. Yes, technically, Mr. Trayvon Martin, being under the age 18, is a child under Florida law. But the case wasn't tried that way. The facts didn't really support it. Good judges like this judge want to have one jury trial. That appeal, that would have gone to the Court of Appeals immediately on that charge.
What do you think is going to be the outcome of this trial?
If I was betting on this, I think the jury may come back with the compromise position of manslaughter. I do think, and I think they'll also find the enhancement for the weapon. It's clearly that the gun was used. The defense fought that. The defense was rolling the dice. Second-degree murder or nothing. We don't want that extra charge. Of course, that's also an appealable issue for the defense, but most likely that's a lesser included and that's allowable.
And manslaughter plus the gun charge, how much time
At least
would that?
25.
At least 25
Right.
years.
That's right.
What are you expecting from the closing arguments tomorrow?
Well, the defense caught a big break. They get to close tomorrow morning instead of being there all night tonight with the jury with a full belly after dinner yawning. They're going to come in fresh, attentive. Defense is going to make their adjustments tonight to the prosecution's closing. They have up to 3 hours. The prosecution gets a brief rebuttal closing. The jury will get this case 2 o'clock tomorrow.
To be continued.
Absolutely.
Giudice, thank you.
Thank you.